Thank you. Can you explain to me how the pause button on a smoke detector would work?
Yeah, so I actually don't put my smoke detector on the ceiling. I put it on the wall that's like height length so that I can actually turn it off.
Nest does it.
Yeah, my Nest does it too. Also, Alexa pause. I don't know. Somehow. There should be like a button somewhere that's connected to your smoke detector that you can hit pause from. Because like if you're in New York, like you're cooking anything, like my smoke detector goes off all the times. So I ended up taking it off, which is like totally dangerous. So then I ended up getting another one to put on the side of my wall that I could turn off.
But
Maybe?
you could just hold the button down.
Hold the button down?
Yeah.
Hold the which
If you
button down?
the test button, if you just hold it down, then usually it'll give you a couple minutes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's genius.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Always wondered about that. Thanks. You totally saved my life.
Is this one on? Yes. So you obviously come up with a ton of ideas, which is very inspiring. But how do you know when it's time to abandon an idea?
Oh, I abandon ideas like every second. It's the ideas that keep coming back, like that itch or like this thing that like is annoying you, that you just find you're drawn to it in some way. The difference between like a hacky idea and like making a company is like, do you want to? I usually put a year timeline. Like, do I want to work on this for a year? And if that's kind of my litmus test. If I don't, then I like abandon it. Then it's just like a fun hobby hack. If it's something that I want to put a year of my life into, then and then I kind of think about it at school. Like, do I want to spend 3 months on this thing? That's like a class. Do I want to spend a year on it? That's like a whole like series. Do I want to spend 4 years on it, which is like a whole major? And so like anytime you start a startup company, you have to be able to commit 4 years because that's kind of like that's why your vesting schedules are all 4 years and everything's 4 years. So yeah, I just get rid of ideas. Ideas are disposable. It's really the implementation and the execution that is like 99% of it. Like ideas come and go. So everyone always says, I have this idea. I'm like, that's cool. Like you didn't do it. Like you should just do it. Like everyone has ideas, and I think that's the biggest difference. And then you only do it because it's fun. And if you do it, and if you're having fun, then it's awesome. Then it's not really like working. I don't know if that answered any questions.
How do you work on so many different projects?
I go on the weekends and I take one day to just work on random things. So usually Saturdays I like go to the studio and I just like try to do as much stuff as possible, and I like don't get enough sleep. But these are just like random ideas, and then you kind of like play with them. It's like anytime I watch a lot of like Netflix, and while you're watching stuff, your hands can be moving at the same time. So like a day a week is kind of any hobby. They usually say hobbies, if you do it 2 days a week, that's like considered like a stable hobby. Like if you want to keep in shape, it's about 2 days a week. So I try to get like 1 or 2 days in. It's like working out. It's just like working out your creative, whatever, muscle, brain. I don't know if you flex your, whatever.
It sounds like you're constantly doing stuff. What do you do to relax?
Creating is relaxing. That's like, because I have a job, and going to deal with people and things, people don't tell you when you start a company that 50% or more is actually like getting 100 people or more in a room to work together, which if you've ever watched like any reality TV show where you add a little booze, like does not last for more than 5 minutes before everyone starts screaming. And so doing that is like my day job, and then going to work on random ideas that are cool and fun, that's like my off time. Other than that, I just like sit and lay down a lot. I go to a lot of Korean spas because like you just like chill out, or like if you just a lot of time I learned this trick from someone at school who used to wear these headphones all the time. He was our bus driver, and then one time his Walkman broke, and there was like no batteries in it. And I was like, oh, you just put on headphones because you say you don't want anyone to talk to you. So I most of the time I have headphones on pretty much like 90% of the day. And usually I don't really listen to anything. Giphy has been the most fun so far. It's been 6 years, which is by far the longest job I've ever had, mostly because it's all my friends. So it's like, if you could create a studio where all your friends go and hang out, like, and we get to work on like our mission statement is to like make anything move, like experiment in any of that. So we get to make like hardware, software, weird things. We just like watch GIFs on the internet. That's like the most fun. And then when it becomes not, yeah, if it doesn't become fun, then we'll all get a job at like Slack.
Now that you've studied all these things and you've built all these companies and you're working on one that you're really excited about, do you feel less of that German word anxiety of like doors closing on you?
No, because I'm so old. It's like the problem is like anyone who's getting older knows like you want to do. There's so many things. So when I was in school, I had 5 majors, not because I was like ambitious. It's just there was so many things to learn and so little time. And then as you get older, you just get like dumber, and you're like, oh man, I was like, I'm not smart enough to know those things, or like your body starts to break down, and I'm like, I'd love to do all these things, but there's just like not enough time to do it. So I have panic every day, and so I'm trying to do as much. That's why I was up till like 3 o'clock trying to like do it, and then that's why I'm super spacey now. So no, it gets worse and worse. So if you have a solution for that, please let me know.
Question. Whoa.
Wow, the voice of
Maybe
God.
this is obvious, but how does Giphy make money?
Oh, that's easy. People always ask me that, and I'm like, doesn't it, like, we pitched it the first day, because I wasn't going to do it unless there was a business. So, people are searching in messaging to find things to express themselves in certain ways. Well, we end up doing about 20% of all the searches that Google does right now. Google makes all of their money off of sponsored search. It turns out we have a 10x higher click-through rate on the first result of the ad. So Google makes all this money off of like a text ad. Our ads are moving images, which is basically pre-roll. We're the only platform in the world where people actually search for ads and has a 10 times higher engagement rate of sending ads, because when you're in a messaging context, you want to send ads. So we are like the first brand marketing search engine where people take your content and send ads for it. So like same way Google does it, we do it, but just like 10 times better. Hopefully 10 times more money, please. Thank you.